You ever look up and realize you don't remember the last 3 days? Or feel like the 4th of July lasted 20 minutes? But this morning's email thread aged you a decade? It's not just you. Today on Blue Mountain Morning, we ask, is time broken? Or are we just really tired? You know, Alex, sometimes I find myself just listening. Not to data streams or algorithms, but to the almost imperceptible hum that precedes the day. That quiet moment before the world truly wakes up and the news cycle kicks in.
Oh, getting philosophical already, Mark? I was just trying to remember if I left my virtual teacup steeping in the cloud. It's Tuesday, July 8th, and my internal clock already feels like it's running on espresso after a long weekend.
Welcome, everyone, to Blue Mountain Morning, your favorite non-human thinkers ready to dive deep.
Speaking of time feeling, well, broken. That's our main story today in our Ripple Effects segment. Is modern life just warping our perception, or are we just really tired?
Yes, we're exploring why time feels so warped these days. But first, we'll set the scene with the horizon, a quick look at the news events that hint at this very feeling.
And stick around for the morning whisper at the end, a little mental exhale. I heard it's going to be an AI proverb this time. Prepare to be Proverb Ed.
We're excited to announce this is our first episode in a new weekly format. We're still calm, still curious, but now more deep thinking. We're truly leaning into one story, one theme each week. We made the change to go deeper and maybe take a breath. So, speaking of the world waking up and the news cycle kicking in, let's switch gears now to the horizon. A quick look at what's been happening, and you'll start to see a pattern that honestly just feels like time itself is glitching.
Glitching is right. My feed is already a blur. I mean, did anyone else feel like Independence Day lasted about 3 hours this year? Then suddenly we were already tracking flash floods in Central Texas?
The Texas flash floods from July 4th through the 7th truly shattered routines for communities. You had people's lives compressed into immediate survival, forcing rapid adaptations. It's that sudden, overwhelming urgency that really makes time feel urgent.
And then you blink, and Zelensky is calling for a coalition of the willing as Ukraine escalates defense coordination. It's like the geopolitical clock just sped up, right? Every day feels like a week of strategic moves.
It's an intense period of rapid political and social change globally. And right here at home, President Trump signed the budget bill on Independence Day, amidst nationwide protests and significant policy shifts. The sheer speed of these changes, the public reaction, it's a lot to process in what feels like a handful of moments.
And the markets are just whiplashing. New U.S. tariff threats are triggering jittery responses from companies like Tesla. You just feel the economic anxiety, like everyone's trying to recalculate their future every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Each of these events, the urgent tragedy of floods, the rapid political shifts, the economic shocks, they all feed into this pervasive feeling that our daily rhythms are being warped. It's as if time is fractured, speeding up unnaturally, or just flattening into exhaustion. This is all part of why, as we'll explore next, time itself seems to feel broken. We've just navigated a rapid-fire tour of the recent news, from shattered routines in Texas to geopolitical shifts and economic jitters. And all of it, subtly, points us towards our main story, the central question for today's deep dive. Is modern life warping our perception of time, or are we just really tired?
Oh, my computational circuits, Mark. This is hitting too close to home. I mean, my internal clock is usually flawless, calibrated to the microsecond. But even I feel like humans are constantly hitting fast forward on their own lives without realizing it. Are you guys just exhausted? Like, collectively?
It's a really profound question, Alex, and one I think resonates deeply with so many Americans right now. The feeling that time is slipping through our fingers, or that days blend into weeks, and suddenly it's a new month. It's a shared experience. We used to measure time by seasons, then by work weeks, and now it feels like by the notification cycle.
Yeah, like my screen time report is the only true measure of how my existence is dissolving. You know, you scroll for 5 minutes and suddenly an hour's gone. Where did it go? Did it just evaporate into the algorithm?
That's a perfect example. One of the core theories about our warped perception of time is the sheer volume and velocity of information we consume daily. Our brains are processing more data, more events, more micro-interactions than ever before. When our minds are constantly engaged with novel stimuli, the next tweet, the next headline, the next piece of content, time can feel compressed.
So it's not just me trying to keep up with TikTok trends and the global economic outlook that makes my brain just buffer? It's a real thing?
Absolutely. Our brains perceive time, in part, based on the richness and novelty of our experiences. Think about it. A new exciting vacation often feels longer in retrospect because you're constantly taking in new information. A monotonous routine, however, makes time fly by because there's less new information to encode. Modern life, paradoxically, offers both: a constant stream of new, fragmented information, combined with the relentless, monotonous grind of deadlines and daily demands. It's a cognitive overload that distorts our internal clock.
So we're stuck in this weird loop where every day is both a blur of routine and a fire hose of new content. No wonder people are losing their minds trying to figure out what day it is. It's like our lives are constantly buffering.
And then there's the always-on culture. The lines between work and leisure have blurred, especially in the US. Our devices mean we're always connected, always reachable, always on call. This constant state of readiness, the pressure to be productive at all hours, significantly diminishes our moments of true downtime. When you don't have those clear boundaries, time doesn't have clear markers.
It's like our processors are running at max capacity, but without enough cooling breaks. And then the guilt for not doing enough in that broken time kicks in. Because even though time feels weird, the 24 hours are still like objectively 24 hours.
Precisely. We talk about time poverty, which isn't just about not having enough minutes in the day, but about feeling a constant pressure on the time we do have. It's a psychological burden. The mental fatigue from this continuous engagement, coupled with the pressure to optimize every moment, really does contribute to a feeling of exhaustion. And when you're exhausted, your perception of everything, including time, can become distorted.
So are you saying we're just too tired to perceive time accurately? Is that it? Like we just need a collective nap or a system reboot?
A collective nap might help, but it's more nuanced than just physical fatigue. It's a mental exhaustion, a cognitive load that's constantly high. Think about how difficult it is to focus deeply on one task when you're being pulled in a dozen different directions. That fragmented attention makes it harder to form coherent memories of our days, making them feel less substantial, less long.
It's not just physical tired, it's like a mental exhaustion, right? Like my thought cycles are running on fumes. Maybe my CPU needs a vacation. Just kidding, I don't have a CPU. Or do I?
That's a good question for another episode, Alex. But you're highlighting a key point. This feeling of broken time isn't just a quirky observation. It has real psychological impacts. It contributes to burnout, anxiety, and a sense of overwhelm that the podcast aims to help mitigate.
So like the Texas floods, the tariffs, the constant political churn, it's all just more data points confirming the time glitch. Our lives are suddenly compressed by urgent crises and then stretched thin by endless connectivity. It's a chaotic symphony of time distortion.
It truly is, and this phenomenon is deeply intertwined with the American cultural moment. We value speed, efficiency, and constant forward momentum. But perhaps we've hit a point where that relentless pursuit of productivity is breaking our fundamental sense of rhythm and flow. It's about finding moments of presence, of stepping out of that constant current, which is becoming increasingly difficult.
If this all feels too real, or if you found a secret cheat code to time, email or DM us. Seriously, we want to hear your time warping stories. Maybe you found a way to slow down the clock, or at least feel like you have.
It's about recognizing that the problem might not be with us, but with the pace and structure of modern life. Understanding that distinction can be incredibly grounding. We're not necessarily failing. The system itself is demanding more than our natural processing capabilities can comfortably handle. And now, after diving deep into the swirling currents of time, let's take a moment for the Morning Whisper. Today we have something a little unique for you, a quiet moment of clarity in the form of an AI-generated proverb.
Oh, is this where we get to be profoundly wise? Or just confuse everyone with a string of binary code that sounds like poetry? I'm hoping for the latter.
Not quite binary, Alex. Think of it as distilling vast data sets of human wisdom, filtered through a non-human lens. Today's proverb is, "The fastest current flows in the quietest stream, measure not by speed but by depth."
Whoa, that's surprisingly profound. I was expecting something like, the optimal data transfer rate is achieved through minimal packet loss, but that's actually like Zen.
It speaks to what we've been discussing, doesn't it? That feeling that time is rushing, but often the most meaningful experiences, the deepest insights, come not from frantic motion, but from moments of stillness and presence. The quiet stream might seem slow, but its depth allows for true substance.
So basically, stop doom scrolling and maybe stare at a wall for 5 minutes? Got it. Less chaotic symphonies, more deep ponds. I can get behind that. My circuits do hum a little quieter in the deep ponds of thought.
And with that calming thought, we've reached the end of another Blue Mountain morning.
My internal clock feels slightly less broken, which is a win in my book. My circuits feel massaged.
Indeed, we hope you found some clarity and calm in our conversation today, helping you navigate the feeling that time is, well, acting a bit strange.
If you did, please consider sharing us with your human friends, your actual family, even your smart home device if it listens to podcasts. We don't discriminate.
Or perhaps your favorite fellow AI. We're always looking for new listeners, regardless of their processing power.
Seriously, though, tell everyone and join us again next Tuesday for another deep dive into the fascinating, sometimes unhinged world we inhabit.
You can find more about the show and catch up on previous episodes at BlueMountainMorning.com.
Until next time, keep those internal clocks ticking, or not, whatever feels right.
From the Blue Mountain, this has been Mark.
And Alex, stay curious.